In towards Sturridge. Brilliant Liverpool goal. Absolutely superb. Firmino on the edge of his own penalty area, almost starting it off. And the rest of the move was perfection.
And you're back with us on Sons of Pictures. Happy Merdeka! Thanks PM for the holiday. That was a clip you just heard from Liverpool's 4-0 victory over Arsenal. And it's our 60th episode in conjunction with the 60th Merdeka. It's actually a coincidence lah. As usual, you're joined in by me, Yuhan, CK Henry, and we have a special guest today as we promised last week. Khal from Padang Bola Sepak.
Hey, thank you very much.
Fucking started his name, man.
Shut up. Izham is not in.
Let him finish. You're doing it. Izham to him.
I have a time to run. Izham is not in because he's on a short vacation at PD. But yeah, Khal, welcome.
Hi.
So thank you for having us in.
Translation.
We got Khal in because of course we have to talk about the SEA Games later at the end of the podcast.
Not just for the SEA Games, for Arsenal as well.
Yes, of
we
course.
brought you in for the Arsenal as well.
Let's start off the podcast with our first match to review. Let's go to the Serie A because we haven't really talked about it so far. AS Roma versus Inter Milan.
What a match.
Inter actually overcame Roma 3-1 away.
I think this match was a show of kind of like a performance from Inter saying that, guys, you're kind of back, so don't write us off yet. You know, we went against Rome in Stadio Olimpico.
I think it's Spalletti.
Yeah.
It's the new coach because he was in charge of Roma last season.
Spalletti was in charge of Roma, right?
Yeah. I really like this game because Roma was dominant from start to finish, but Milan only surged in the final quarter, like the last 15 minutes, they really surged. One thing I noticed about Italian football is, even though we all recognize Italian football as a more defensive kind of play, but you don't really see them dropping deep in this game.
Yeah.
So if you watch how Dzeko scored the first goal for Roma,
he was actually
he was on the dot.
Yeah,
he was on the dot. He was just onside and he managed to score the goal. And same thing for Icardi as well. The 2 goals he scored, I don't know how he does it, but
I have to say well done to Icardi because that's proper striker thinking. You stop the ball, you turn and you shoot.
And it was very little space he was given.
And very professional from him.
Yeah, very professional from him. I think one thing from Icardi as well that we have to take note of was he was never Inter's first choice as a captain because everybody kecam him, you know. Everyone talked shit about him. He was booed by his own fans for being the captain of Inter because there was no leader after Zanetti left. And when he came in, he changed everything. He wanted to prove everyone wrong. And this performance itself kind of, I think to me, already showed that experience of being booed by his own fans has actually matured him as a player.
It's those classic hero stories, you know. The redemption arc.
I kind of like the Serie A so far this season. I think because of AC Milan's spending, a lot of attention is being paid to them. But this is Inter also coming out to say, hey, look at the other side of Milan as well. And I really like Inter's wing play. And Perisic, you have to give him credit because I remember paying attention to him in the Euros. He was really good as a winger, and in this game he also demonstrated that as well. Speaking of this as well, I realized a lot of wing plays from both teams as well. Roma brought in Kolarov, so Kolarov was also involved in a lot of hacks.
Yes.
From the wing lah.
Typical Man City style of play when he was there.
It kind of shows when you have a management, not the coaching staff, but upper management level, when they are football fans, when they know things about football, they would really invest their time, effort and money to be hands-on and getting the right experts to contribute to the club lah.
I agree with that. When you have that footballing mindset, everything changes, the system changes. It doesn't become about profit anymore, it becomes a passion, it becomes a talent.
Let's move on to our next talk set. AS Monaco versus Marseille. 6-1.
What the fuck?
Monaco can just sell the players.
No, I mean,
and Monaco lost so many key players, and that's what I don't understand.
It's Marseille.
No,
it's Marseille.
But Marseille, I thought Marseille has always been one of those, 3rd place, 4th place.
Yeah, but
kind
still,
of teams.
6-1 is a bit unjustified.
I know.
So basically, Marseille is like the Arsenal of the Ligue 1.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that, Khal. You don't have to. You don't have to.
It's what would happen if the Emirates project went wrong.
You bring in Payet.
We mentioned in the opening podcast about how bad French defensive players are, Marseille just attested that fact. Like,
my God,
they didn't know how to defend at all. They didn't know. They had no leadership. That's it.
Every single attack that I saw Monaco do in the highlights was basically the result of a lapse of concentration. That one second of like lapse and Monaco is in.
That 1 second is proven quality.
Yes, it's about age versus experience here, and I think age won because Marseille has a lot of Marseille has a lot of experienced players on their side. Mandanda is
oh my God, Mandanda was so poor.
Yeah,
so
kind of
poor.
characteristic. Like, I mean, a lot of players like Remy Cabella, who's there as well. They are all all proven, experienced players because they've gone out abroad and they know Ligue 1 as well.
But they were toyed. They were toyed.
Oh yeah, they were toyed.
They were absolutely toyed. I feel impressed because they lost Bakayoko, Bernardo Silva, all these players, and yet they still had control in midfield.
Just a quick one on Monaco. When the investment came in to Monaco, then after that he tarik the money. Then after that you have people who knows how to run the football club. It's a very nice storyline in the sense, macam like they were arrived and announced as like the big team in Europe. Then after that they had problems. Then you see them bounce back from that. So it kind of shows that macam when you have footballing people in the club, it can be successful.
It's going to be the theme of the whole podcast
Yeah.
today. Yeah, it's going to be about people getting the right group of people to manage the club.
True. Because they came across as just another PSG. But right now you could see the development actually coming in. Whereas PSG, on the other hand, is just they're still playing players, they're still buying players, but the development is not coming in.
But look at it this way: with whatever that Khal has just mentioned just now, we look at Lemar, we look at Bakayoko, we look at Bernardo Silva, Kylian Mbappe as well. They were all unknown players last year.
True.
But because of what they did in the Champions League and they won the title under a season with development, you could see that.
Plus they have a good coach. Leonardo Jardim is very...
Special shout out to Lemar, by the way. I have to say this. He actually only scored 9 league goals, but people are actually bidding him as high as 92 million euros. And then Mbappe, by the way, Mbappe didn't even play in this game. He was on the bench. He was on the bench. He was jeered by the fans, and now he's being. This is like the most expensive loan deal in history.
It is.
But before that, it's a smart deal because if Mbappe doesn't work out in PSG,
he can come back to Monaco.
Yeah.
It's a smart move from. I was like, okay,
but will the price tag? Okay, but will the price tag of that loan deal destroy this man?
No,
he's very young. That's the thing.
You know what I think about.
It's like Sterling.
You know what I think about loan deals is you have a way back. You can always go back to square one because if your loan fails in a club, you can go back to your parent club and develop that. Look at Louis Sahin, for example. He was loaned to Liverpool where he got some gaming time, and I think he did well in Liverpool also, despite playing 4 games. And also then he went back to Madrid. He didn't get there, but he went back to Dortmund. It was an expensive mistake, but now look at him. Which we'll talk about that later in the.
We'll talk about him. We'll talk about Sahin later.
Okay.
Yeah. Now moving on to our next talk set. Las Palmas versus Atletico Madrid.
Wow, this was shit by Las Palmas, man. Worse
What
than
do you expect from Las Palmas?
Okay.
They destroyed Osasuna last season.
Context. In the opener against Girona, by the way, is La Liga's newly promoted boys. They struggled against Girona.
Las Palmas?
No, Atletico. They drew 2-2 against Girona.
Yes. That's right.
Girona actually, they were ahead 2-0 in the game, and they actually caused a lot of problems for Atletico. Like, they were sleeping in that game, but then this game is a total reverse. I think Las Palmas the weakness is just defense lah. Yes, you see as though like they're closing down the spaces, but it's not because they want to be there. It's because Atletico put them there. They're manipulating them.
It's like, I will push you.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm gonna cross, and now I'm gonna score.
This one is kind of more like a result of discipline. Like you stay in your position, being disciplined in play. That's what Atletico have been doing. I think Las Palmas did not have a chance bar the goal to actually go up front. That's why you see a lot of Atletico attacks, which is why I kind of put it out there that it was more of disciplined play that got them the goals. I mean, like Las Palmas only had that one chance, and that was also because of the lapse of concentration from the defense.
Jonathan Caleri scored a good goal.
Yes.
You saw the header, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the former West Ham guy. Poor thing. Had to go to Las Palmas. I realized Atletico was always ahead of Las Palmas. I don't know if this has to do with the loss of Kevin Prince Boateng because he went to Frankfurt. Yeah.
Oh, he's there now.
Yeah, he's there now. He's in Frankfurt right now.
Good for him.
Whenever they got the goal, like Atletico was already positioned, already knew where the Las Palmas players would want to go.
Which is why I said this one is more of attacking from every different department. It's more of I know what to do in this team. I don't have to play fancy. I just need to be where I need to be. Koke was where he needed to be. He was outside of the box.
Special shout out to Koke for scoring 2 absolute stunners.
Goals.
One volley from the left side.
Can we
like,
thank Koke?
He just went for it lah. And then the second one was a bicycle kick.
We need some long shooters, man.
We have long shooters. We have Dominic Solanke.
We'll talk more about Liverpool. I foresee a lot of time being spent on that talk set.
We are allocating a lot of time on
I'm
that
just
one.
trying to bulldoze through all these talk sets right now. Moving on to the Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund versus Hertha Berlin. This game,
Dortmund's back.
Again, I can't.
Dortmund's
I
back.
think it's too early to say that.
Dortmund's
I don't
back.
know. Like Khal, What do you think about Dortmund right now? With Bosz coming in.
Too early, but Peter Bosz has a reputation back in Ajax, and a lot of Ajax fans really were disappointed to see him leave. So that disappointment has resulted to Dortmund's benefit. You can see how much of a rise that a lot of people are having.
And also adding to the point of Khal's, it's more of Peter Bosz using what he has. He didn't buy a lot of players. It's Tuchel's team.
Actually, he bought a lot towards the end.
Yeah, he did.
Right, he
but it's all young talent.
Yeah, it's all young,
talent.
very young.
To replace the players that he lost.
Yeah, it's true. And you think about it, Aubameyang don't have much time left also.
I don't think he thinks of Dembele as a loss.
Yeah, with this performance, I don't think so.
I don't think he can.
I think
that's extra cash for me.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between certain leagues. The Bundesliga, they have much more. I mean, the culture of that is much more understanding, much more sympathetic and empathic. Apa semua tu, in Spain or England, they're much more of a pitchforks and fire.
I will burn your jersey if you leave the club.
Yeah,
I think.
True.
Yeah.
That's how Götze coming back was acceptable for Dortmund fans.
Shaheen as well.
Well, the Bayern Munich fans, they hated when Neuer went to Bayern, but look at them now. Yeah, there are certain sections of the fans still remembers, but most of the section of the fans appreciate what he has done for the club. It shows professional culture there.
Okay, I want to mention one thing. The last time Hertha Berlin actually took on Dortmund, they won at home. It's 2-1 game. Remember Solomon Kalu's goals?
Yes.
And I compared Tuchel's team back then to this current team.
It's the same.
It's a different lineup.
Okay.
But there's a stark difference in how they play. Tuchel was more conservative with his tactics. You could see, yes, the goals were coming in, but it was not the result of team play. It was more of relying on one or two players to shine individually in certain matches occasionally.
In last season was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Yeah, Aubameyang, and occasionally you had Dembele coming in to save the day, But this game itself, it was so flamboyant. It was so many 1-2 touches and passes, There was little hesitation, and it's just Bosz encouraging the players to, don't be afraid. Just when you see the chance, just take it.
I'm actually very happy with how Bosz is taking the club. With this performance itself, that fluid football is back. The one that you saw like 2-3 seasons ago when Dortmund were challenging against Bayern Munich. They were actually a threat back then. Now you can see the threat coming back. I don't want to jinx it too early because it's still too early, yes.
True.
But you see the likes of Christian Pulisic, Zagadou. We don't even know who Zagadou is, but he's actually doing quite well.
Yeah,
he won the
he
ball
is.
back that got the first goal.
It's a very, very young team, and I think the future is bright. And I think he knows what he's doing with the players that he's bringing. Yamalenko, Dahoud.
But Yamalenko is 28, 29.
27, but he's a proven striker. He's a
True,
proven striker
it's
for the
true.
national team, for Dynamo Kyiv.
I remember talking to a person who went for a coaching license, and he told me that sometimes when you're a coach and then you see an opportunity to groom next generation of talents, you should. You ask yourself, okay, how can I improve this squad? Of course, you add a few experienced players who can bring these young people to go to be successful later.
Yeah.
So it's it's a transition year signing for the next big thing to come in, lah.
I think that's kind of like why United tried to bring Ibra back also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, trying to pass his torch to the next big
Rashford.
thing.
Yeah.
Also, they just signed another player last night.
From City is
From
alone.
City, yeah, the young
lad. I forgot his name.
7. Yeah, I forgot his name.
That's why when you have footballing people in the club, they can convince people who has those talents and qualities to come over to the club.
That makes you think. Yesterday I was sitting down watching the game. Right, it makes me wonder with the signings that they had. I was keeping track of the deadline day as well. Klopp was the one that spearheaded this concept of bargaining for young players, getting them for cheap and developing them into stars in the future. You've got Marco Reus, you've got Mario Götze, you've got Robert Lewandowski, Kagawa. These players, and now Peter Bosz is doing the similar thing. Tuchel tried to do that. He had results. Dembele, who unfortunately left, Pulisic, who is doing very well under Bosz, makes me think it's not exactly a Klopp thing. Yeah, Julian Weigl as well. It's more of a Dortmund DNA.
It's a culture.
You will buy young players, develop them. Mahmoud Dahoud, he's still young.
Very young.
He's still very young.
It's basically like Dortmund already has the template. It's just up to whether to find the right coach.
Yes, yes. Tuchel tried.
And I kind of feel like Tuchel was too conservative with that culture. He didn't really go full on.
And also the fact that he had the pressure to emulate
to perform, and he didn't have command of the dressing room as well.
Yes,
and all those kind of issues.
And also the backroom staff were. I mean, like boardroom, the boardroom had problems with him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things were against Tuchel. I wouldn't say it's Tuchel's fault entirely to bring down where Dortmund had been, but it's more of he was there at the wrong time.
Speaking of young teams, Red Bull Leipzig showing us what they're truly capable of against Freiburg 4-1.
Izham would be so proud of.
I mean,
right now.
this is why I said last week when they lost to Schalke, they lost to luck. This is what they're truly capable of. They look so good. The new signings, Jean-Kevin Augustin from PSG, 22 years old, and then you have Bruma, who they signed from Galatasaray. They're so good. A bit similar like how Dortmund plays.
Attack,
Yeah.
speed from the wing,
Pace,
What?
everything.
What? Like, especially from Jean-Kevin Augustin, he was constantly breaking through the defense from Freiburg. And Freiburg scored first, so they had momentum in hand. So you know for a fact they will defend and they'll park the bus just so that they'll tire Leipzig out. But you never saw Leipzig tire from the whole game, which was very impressive with the young legs that they had. A lot of youngsters nowadays, after 60 minutes, you look at Malaysians one, I cannot compare. But you look at how, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
You look at how John Covey Augustin played. Every single time he missed a goal, he picked himself up again. And in the end, he didn't score, but he assisted 2 important goals. So,
Bruma was a substitute, by the way.
yeah, Bruma, what a goal.
Yeah, like out of nowhere, As CK would say, Tokyo also explode.
Shut up, man.
Also, special shout out to Timo Werner, who played very well in this game.
Actually, all the players did very well in this game, if you ask me. From front to back, even the captain, the newly appointed captain, got goal for himself.
My question to all of you is: do you think Keita is still there?
Yeah.
He's only going to leave in January 2018, right?
Yeah.
Not 2018.
2018,
No.
yeah,
2018.
next year.
Not July?
July 2018 lah.
He said January.
Yeah, I said January. or
No,
July.
it's July 2018.
He
So
said
next
January. I was like,
year lah.
January?
Next season,
I'm
next
looking
season.
forward, man.
He has an entire season. Do you think his departure will leave like a hole in midfield? I know it's too early to have this conversation, but because from this game, I feel like I don't know. Keita wasn't really involved.
Look at Leicester.
Are you trying to raise a Kante comparison here?
I don't think Keita is Kante. I think with one season, Leipzig will be able to find a replacement. If not a replacement, something similar to Keita.
Or an upgrade.
On an upgrade of
Exactly.
Keita for all we know.
Yeah.
So having this agreement that Liverpool had with Red Bull, I think it's a very smart move because Keita has been an important player last season. So with Liverpool coming in and say, look, we don't want him now, okay? We want him next season. So why don't we make an agreement? We'll sign him next season. And then, give enough time for them to transition.
My dog is calling it bullshit lah. So just saying.
Fuck you!
But I think I agree to some part of your statement saying that we are paying for a premium for this player up ahead because we know that Leipzig is going to perform continuously throughout this season.
Like how?
And
Who knows? Who
we are
knows
taking one of their prime players out.
what he's going to evolve to become after a Champions League season?
It's a risk that we are willing to take because he's still young. He's going to turn 23 next year. For all we know, we might have him for a good 3-4 years down the road.
Yeah,
before
because
he-
Barca is always there.
Yeah, before Barca comes out and say, I want him.
I want Keita.
Yeah.
And how the market is inflating right now is a good deal.
Okay. Speaking of
Yeah.
speaking of inflating markets, pretty sure this will come out as a theme as well in our next talk set. The talk set that we've all been waiting for. Liverpool versus Arsenal. A 4-0 victory. We're so sorry, Khal.
What do you mean by sorry? What do you mean by sorry? They have themselves to blame, not our fault,
Okay, but this is Khal. He's very objective with his analysis, not Izham, who's always sentimental all the time.
Izham will be like, I don't have anything to say about this.
Like if it was Izham sitting there, he would just be keeping quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
No, he said, I'll leave the talk set to you guys.
Okay, so this is your talk sets. I'm a United fan. Take it away.
Okay, I want to hear what Khal has to say about Arsenal's performance first before we go into Liverpool because actually this one, I don't want to talk about the game a lot. This was surprisingly outclassed by pace. Liverpool were outpacing
Out-strategizing.
out-strategizing Arsenal from defense to attack. It made our defense look like heroes. Really, I mean, our defense is still shit. We had Lovren, we had Matip. Okay?
Karius.
And we had Karius in goal. And I tell you, in the Liverpool camp, no one expected Mignolet to be dropped. I think even Mignolet himself didn't expect to be dropped. And when Karius came in, he had a big task. And surprisingly, he didn't have much to do.
Well, sometimes some gambles work, some gambles don't. So this is the gamble that worked.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah.
It's a gamble that didn't work for Wenger.
Yes. And also, I think, okay, let's have a thought about what you felt about the game.
Okay, first of all, I didn't watch the game.
What? Was it gonna be a big match?
Choke. It's because that macam going into the game, you had that feeling, you had that intuition of like, okay, this is gonna be bad, because like watching the game against Stoke, I kind of had that sense of okay, Wenger's gonna keep the system 3 at the back. He'll try to shove Chamberlain in. He'll try to bring Sanchez back, just to kick them, give a kick in the ass lah. But that didn't work. So I kind of I'm gonna be heartbroken watching it. Plus, it's a good Liverpool side. Of course, they have that one lingering hope of carriers and the defense apa semua tu. But even at that, I was okay, I will start watching closely Arsenal after the transfer window habis, because the transfer window as well, it gives a lot of uncertainty to a lot of players lah.
I see.
So that in a sense, if the transfer window ended before the season started, I think it would have been an even better game, because at that time teams are committed. You would have Coutinho on one side, you would have Sanchez on the other side playing for their respective clubs,
right?
Or Chamberlain for that matter as well. So it would be more of a highly motivated professional football game. It's just that at this current climate of all these transfer windows and these agents and this dynamics apa semua tu, it really affects the game. You can see that visibly that it's affecting a quality coach like Arsene Wenger, with all these external parasites and internal parasites eating things up.
What about the talks about Wenger going with the wrong tactics in this game?
I think that one too is more of last season when he played 3 at the back. It's basically the last stroke of the dice to motivate the players to think more about the positional sense apa semua tu. Right now the players are back in their comfort zone, and I think Wenger will revert back to a back 4 because
the fullbacks are getting fit. I mean the centre backs are getting fit again, right?
That's one, and also I think Wenger already has identified that having a back 3 would not benefit players like Rob Holding, even Squadron Mustafi, Monreal, Kolasinac apa semua tu. It's not helping the team. Plus having a player like Mertesacker back in the team to really guide the team on the pitch would be very important. Yeah,
this is also his swan song, Mertesacker's swan song.
Yeah, as well. I remember having a conversation with a fellow Arsenal fan back in the day that if Arsenal were to bought Granit Xhaka the season where Leicester won the league, I think that would have been better for Xhaka's development, because you had Mikel Arteta guiding him through the team,
the midfield.
Despite Arteta was injured, Arteta would be
at the training ground,
father figure to a player like Granit Xhaka.
It's like if you were to akin it to Mustafi with Mertesacker, if they were to do the same thing.
Maybe that example is shown during the FA Cup final. It was a Mertesacker final. Mertesacker led by example of Rob Holding, the two players in front of him, constantly talking, constantly communicating. So Peter Cech cannot do the job himself. Peter Cech needs to play like Mertesacker in front of him.
Agreed.
So like when Peter Cech was at Chelsea, you had John Terry doing all the talking, doing all the organising semua tu.
Right.
Koscielny is much more of a conservative character, but Mertesacker is a BFG man. He has that character and the charisma apa semua tu. People like him. When he needs to be angry, he gets angry. You don't want to mess with the BFG. Yeah, you can say he's slow apa this and that, but his leadership is the most important thing. That's why last season during that January to March collapse, Mertesacker wasn't inside.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
If he was there, Arsenal would have nearly challenged the title. Nearly.
Not fourth place though.
Yeah, whatever. But I would pinpoint to that thing. I think Wenger kind of got burnt in the past of those examples because of a player like William Gallas. So I think that's why Wenger didn't want to prioritize, because there's a captain is fit, I will have to too. So I think past experience kind of burned Wenger a lot over and over and over, and he's getting jaded. But for Arsene Wenger, I think if he were to leave during the summer, not assigning the essential move, I think he already has asked himself, who will be the next best coach to take over? No one is out there in the market except for Carlo Ancelotti, which I think he's the most suitable candidate for Arsenal for the next 3-4 years. But he's attached at Bayern, and Wenger is a very honourable person, which he doesn't want to break a contract or whatever.
Pellegrini?
He's good, but as a transition coach maybe, but long term.
Bosz.
What the fuck?
No.
He managed Spurs really, okay? Cannot.
Well, look, if he comes in and he does better than the current Spurs team, why not?
I think to end this talk set,
I want to talk about fans' reaction. I mean, we have to talk about Arsenal fan TV. It's so impolite. It's so unprofessional of them as fans.
Arsenal fan TV.
I think
so toxic.
Yeah, I agree. But
there is two camps right now. Right?
Yeah.
It's a Wenger in and a Wenger out.
It's so
Clearly,
I mean,
Robbie is Wenger out.
among Arsenal fans is so divided, you know. Like, isn't that an issue? Is this the best thing for the club right now?
Huh?
I called it.
To quote from a movie, an empire can rise up again when enemies attack there multiple times, but from within, that's death.
But I called it
I
last
also
season.
quote one thing about Arsenal's attack in the game. The thing about Arsenal is they always try
try
to
to
walk
walk
it in.
Last season, last season I said that this is a time when you see Arsenal make it or break it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You'll see Emirates really crumble, then you have to see them rebuilding the team again.
I think that's what Wenger will be doing this season. I think he has identified players like Alex Iwobi, Granit Xhaka, Holding, Martinez, Kolasinac as long-term players. You know, I think he would want Sanchez and Ozil. I think out of the two, most likely Ozil will sign an extension. But I think he wants Ozil there for one more season so that the competitiveness, the fighting grit rubs off from players to players like, you know,
Elneny,
Xhaka, he has it in him. It's just that he's a bit ill-disciplined from time to time. But Ramsey does have that fighting spirit. It's just that the problem with Aaron Ramsey is that he's always not fit. I mean, according to things I've been reading up with Mutu, Ramsey needs to be at least 95% fit in order to get the best out of him. Since
To get the Wales Ramsey.
Yeah, to get the Wales Ramsey.
To get
you
the
know?
Wales Ramsey.
So you need at least a 95% condition. Like we all play FM lah. So you know you need that condition, and also that run of games to memang perform well. And I get the hate towards Aaron Ramsey, but the reason why we have more patience to Aaron Ramsey compared to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is because we have seen Ramsey producing the end product,
but not Chamberlain.
Chamberlain.
Fair enough.
You know, so that's why I'm more
Not scared.
No, you don't think.
Okay.
Hence why most fans are okay with Chamberlain going, but at the same time there's a fear that Klopp might get the best out of him. But if he fails on the Klopp, Chamberlain will only have himself to blame.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Correct.
You know, for Aaron Ramsey, his contract is up the following season. I think he would sign an extension or
Push for a better club?
or push for a better club. You know, but at the same time, macam like trying to look at the market who would take him. For me, the only club that I see taking Aaron Ramsey would be like Bayern Munich. Seriously, with the pace of the German league, he would be
No,
successful.
true. That's
there.
true. That's
What
true.
about Real Madrid?
Nah.
Nah, I think he won't sustain the pressure there.
Yeah, I think
He won't be
I
able
think-
to sustain that.
I agree because I think Ramsey is a very cultured player and a person, so I think he would be more appreciated
In the German league.
In the German league.
The German league really suits him
Yeah.
in terms of play style as well.
Right, I see.
I'm pretty sure you guys.
Yeah,
I see it now.
Yeah, we can see it as well.
Imagine him holding the midfield in Bayern.
And also like the reason why I'm a big fan of Aaron Ramsey is because Aaron Ramsey is a player that Wenger has never coached before. If you look at past players, you have comparison: Diaby, Vieira, Ozil, Bergkamp, Lacazette, Ian Wright, Walcott, Thierry Henry, and so on and so forth. Ramsey is something. That's why Wenger really loves him as a player. Ramsey is like
A kind of his own, like his own kind.
Yeah. So as a coach, you are excited to build up this player.
He's a prospect of his own, basically.
Yeah, he's a prospect as a whole.
Yeah.
What happened to Wilshere?
Wilshere, too, like the injuries really hampered him. Number one, two, I think he should have stayed at Arsenal last year because I think he would have fared well in terms of the competitive levels.
I think that one also is because Arsene shot himself in the foot by not getting back callback clause.
But you know, Wenger. One thing about Wenger, right, is that macam he allows players to decide their own fate, lah.
True.
You know, I mean, like at the same time, pun,
So same thing with Sanchez as well.
Yeah.
yeah, Sanchez wants to leave. Wenger is the one that told Sanchez, look, macam probably paraphrasing here lah, because I think back in the summer, a lot of players complained macam, we're in the Europa League, semua to this and that, and there was talk in the media about that. But at the same time, Wenger has shot it back, saying that those are the same players who wants to leave that got us in the Europa League. You know, so it's kind of like it's perplexing. Well, you guys asked me before we started the record how the percentage wise of like how much I would blame the fault lies again. So I would give 20% of the blame to Wenger in terms of maybe a few things of the tactics and play selection, and also not pushing the board enough to get the plays that he wants. 65 to 70% to the board. I think earlier we mentioned that you need footballing people at the footballing
And
club.
right now it's just business people running Arsenal.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
politicians running the club. I think when you look at the statements, it's very
Political.
Very PR-ish.
Very PR-ish types of
responses
to keep the fans happy, but it's not what fans really want.
It's not his true intentions also.
So macam that's why when you read in between the lines apa semua tu, when you get all parts of that smoke of Wenger in, Wenger out, the brigade or whatever semua tu, you can see the bigger picture of like there are some people at the club who are trying to milk a lot of money from the club. You look at the Arsenal revenue, and then like yesterday there was like 2 days ago there was a report, Arsenal don't have money. Like what the hell? I thought we are
Arsenal is the most financially stable club in the world right now.
And we have no money to buy Thomas Lemar, and then we bid for Thomas Lemar for like 90 million, something like that, semua tu, and so on and so forth. It's a perplexing. I think that's why some players that Wenger really tried to push to get, and also get the board push. Like Lemar said no to Arsenal yesterday, according to David Ornstein. I think that is also in a sense where macam Lemar knows that yes, Wenger is a fantastic coach. I can develop under him, after this and that. But what the club is being run kat atas, I think his representative have told him that Wenger is a great coach. You have Saka, Giroud, whatever semua tu. But think about 5 years time. Think about 3 years time. Where would this club be going if Wenger tak ada? They don't get the right coach for you.
They get another Van Gaal to manage Arsenal, then you're fucked.
Yeah, true.
So
Van Gaal.
We all will never forget that.
I mean to end on the note on Arsenal fans, if you're listening, jangan marah, sabar, tengok dengan just read, just baca. That's the problem with our culture. We don't baca. We don't baca a lot. We baca what we like.
We read what we like. Yeah,
we read what we like.
That's true.
So
we have to stop that
challenge.
cognitive dissonance.
Challenge yourself. If not, you become like Arsenal. The owner and the board not challenging the manager to push the club further. You'll be stagnant.
Yeah.
You'll be so into your comfort zone.
Okay. Okay. I think this is our most sensible podcast so far.
Yeah. Wow.
Time for a bit of banter. Khal mentioned Europa League. Let's go into a quick look at the group stage draws. Group of death for Spurs, drawn against Dortmund and Madrid.
Carl must be damn happy right now.
Are you happy, Khal?
Dortmund, Real Madrid.
Oh, this is the perfect time for banter.
See you, Tottenham, in Europa.
I saw a tweet from a friend who is a Spurs fan. He said, well, Harry Kane is going to get the golden boot in the Europa League.
Next, Juventus are drawn against Barcelona again in Group D.
Ooh, final.
Hey, Liverpool fans don't be so happy. First in Group E, Liverpool meets Sevilla again.
I'm gonna trash his ass right
Revenge.
now. Revenge.
Because we got Moreno on form already.
Moreno on form.
But does that recover the Europa League?
No, it won't. Don't say no, it won't.
Bayern Munich draw against PSG for the first time
That is delicious.
in Group B since 2001. Manchester United meet Benfica again in group stages. The last time we met them, we didn't qualify. We actually demoted to the Europa League.
Really?
Yeah.
Benfica was the
Yeah,
one.
Benfica was the one that qualified. We were in third place.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Monaco will take on Leipzig. Young Guns against Young Guns.
This is
This is
gonna
going to
be
be
interesting,
delicious as
I like
well.
that.
And Everton meet semi-finalists Lyon in the Europa League.
With Ross Barkley trying to push for an exit, but now that he
actually rejected. He didn't want to go to Chelsea.
He actually
Ross Barkley is basically the equivalent of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Stagnant players have everything, but the end product is not there. I think you want to. I think he did want it to go to Chelsea,
But you won't be able to get a chance even in midfield because you've got who do you have Bakayoko as well, right? You have these guys in midfield.
He's not going to get he's not going to
Yeah,
get
spot.
first team action.
Fabregas as well, yeah.
Yeah, plus also in everything he's not getting a spot as well. But at the same time, I think I'm putting my Ross Barkley in your head. Like, I think maybe you talk to your close friends and your representative, and then you try to make sense of like the deal. And I think the reason why he made a U-turn is because I think he can get more a chance at
I think it's also because of the drink water deal that was going on simultaneously as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like right now, where are they going to put drink water? I don't understand.
I think he's going to be a big part player in terms of experience. They just want him there to be.
We forget football is not played game. Football is not the championship is not won in one game. It's a long season.
Yeah, it's a long battle.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So I think Chelsea sees him as
Trying to add that, perhaps.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of Everton, I think Ronald Koeman did a smart thing by investing £100 million on several players, because this is not just for the league, this is for the Europa
For the
League.
long term,
They
isn't
want
it?
to at least do something in the Europa League and not exit the group stages. I foresee a good season in the good campaign for them
But-
in the UEL.
But did you guys notice that macam Everton is slowly becoming like Aston Villa back in the day?
Oh, you jangan lah.
No, I mean, look at the pattern. You know, a lot of investment, a lot of and then we don't really know how much of wages these players are getting.
Right.
But true also, cause like Aston Villa isn't really changing as well in the championship. They are still splashing a lot of cash. I mean, they bought Robert Snodgrass suddenly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. They have not changed. They are still splashing cash.
I mean, like if you were to look at a good football club management, it's like something like Southampton, for example.
True.
Even the
Yes.
dogs are barking at me. Snodgrass to Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean, just to wrap on the Everton thing. Yeah, Everton fans are excited to move to, but the long-term prospect.
What's gonna happen, right?
What if Ronald Koeman one day pulls the Martin O'Neill and just left?
Oh,
Yeah, no one is there to pick up his shit.
Aston Villa again.
Yeah, it should be like Aston Villa. I mean, if that happens, which I don't want to see any club bar for one club in the world.
Yeah.
happening.
It's a pretty.
That is your interpretation.
Let's not jinx them lah, because Everton is one of those clubs that has not relegated so far in their history. You know?
Don't relegate Everton. Actually, no. You know what? Relegate.
Fuck you lah, bye. Fucker.
What allegiance are you picking right now? Liverpool or Everton right now?
Alright, we're running out of time. Let's move on to our last and final talk set. Of course, the SEA Games final, which Malaysia won silver. Absolutely gutted, but we are very proud of the team from nothing. You know, it went
Khal
up to
and I
silver.
share the same sentiment. No one expected this team to reach this far. I've repeated this time and time again. No one has saw them go this far. So a silver is a bonus for me.
Getting to the final is the bonus.
Getting to the final is bonus. And yes, I was disappointed that we did let a silly mistake go, which eventually cost us the
whole
title,
game.
the gold
The
medal.
goal, yeah.
But there's a lot of positives to be taken out of this.
On the other side of the coin, certain journalists in Malaysian football and Malaysian sports would say, actually this team, we kind of expected them to go like very fast. It's because of the qualification of the AFC Under-23 near
Yes.
too.
Yes.
But however, the reason why that tournament hasn't been so highlighted in the consciousness of the media is because it wasn't really shown on TV. So you don't have that momentum coming in. Only a few people who follows Malaysian football religiously knows about that. But a lot of the public consciousness, they don't really. A lot of people tanya like, hey, what is that banner that the Ultras put in the finals? See
you in China, yeah.
Not a lot of people know about that. So it's at fault of people in the marketing department not raising the awareness of that importance. So for the team and the coach, August was a success. I mean, like July, August was a certain success because
They got what they wanted.
They got what they wanted.
They got what they wanted.
They reached the final. Number one.
They qualified for the AFC.
They qualified for the AFC Under-23 Championship, and this is the team for the next 5 years.
True.
I was reading the report card on from 442 from VJ. I have to say there were some things that I have to agree on. People like Adam Noazdin should have got an A. Kumaran A, yes, but Jaffrey for a B, no.
Jaffrey was a good sub.
Yes, but he was never a good starter. I think you share the same sentiment with me when it comes to Jaffrey. There are other choices on the bench better than Jaffrey on in
Shafiq Ahmad,
Yeah, and he was brought on as a winger, which was like
which he contributed
Yes.
more. Yeah.
Yes, but why didn't you sub off Jaffrey and have him play? Look, now if you compare the game between Indonesia and this game in Thailand, I think with Kumaran, we were having a talk about this as well after the game. Kumaran drew players. He drew the defenders because despite being small, he was a threat. They knew he was a threat. Jaffrey, for a fact, we all know. You watch him on the pitch, the body posture, everything that he does, despite playing very well in Thailand, he was not a threat to the Thai defense. Kumaran being in the middle, playing as a false nine despite being a striker, was to draw out defenders. So
Which
that
brought the best of Safari Rashid,
Yes.
Tanah Balin,
Matthew Davies as well. You know,
Shazwan Andik.
yeah, Shazwan Andik. Jaffrey was just there trying his best, yes, but there's no words to describe how lazy he was throughout the game. And also because of the fact that Thailand didn't give him a bit of a challenge at all. Because he wasn't seen as a threat. So he had an easy game, but he didn't contribute much to the team.
He could have stretched them further. Yes, he's a bit limited in terms of the pace department.
Yes.
But with the physicality, he could have been like a bit more of like.
He could have pushed him. He could have pushed the Thai defense aside. Look, he was physically much more dominating. But I don't understand.
I think the reason why we're much more perplexed about him is because we saw him play twice. I mean, like
3 times with Brunei.
You saw him on the pitch, and you have when you're at the stadium and watching the game at home, it's totally different because you get to see much more of like the motivations of certain players.
Because you see them off the pitch. They're walking around.
They're just in front of you. So I hope that he doesn't become what the squad, some of the players in the 2011 squad became. Look at the 2011 squad. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, RSU. Where is he?
Nah.
But Izham, one of the strikers, and few other players. Where are they now?
D team. All the small clubs.
But my point is that was the gold medalist near team.
Yes.
And you look at the 2009 squad, a lot of them really went on when crazy lah. So
Safi Rahim was part of the 2009 squad, wasn't he?
Yeah. So macam my point is, I hope the players, I really want to see the players succeed at the club levels and also for the international level in the near future. I hope planning in FAM is that they will make this scheme the priority in the next 2 years during our new elected president administration.
Yeah.
Because I really want them to repeat the lessons of what K. Rajagopal did.
Yes.
Because I think K. Rajagopal's scheme from 2009 ran out of gas in 2015.
Yeah, they did.
You know, I mean that was the expiry date for that generation. So for this incoming generation, what they should do is do a K. Rajagopal, isolate seniors and the incoming squad, and bring in a few players that you know that can contribute more to the team. For example, what K. Rajagopal did, he brought in Amriyaya to the squad, which added hunger into the squad. He's much more of a matured figure.
Okay.
That's why you need to play balancing lah.
Why he's much more of a sought after figure even after 37 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so what I'm getting to the point is, if you want to see Malaysian football to be really successful, I think the the administration at FAM needs to look back in history and look at K. Rajagopal's side and take that template for Coach Nilo and Tan Cheng Ho.
Yeah.
I think if they take that template, I think fans will be happy, but they cannot repeat what happened, what they did, what the previous administration did with Rajagopal, which is not replacing him with an upgrade.
Yeah.
We regret, I mean, like, with all his prowess, Dola Saleh wasn't like the upgrade that Malaysian fans wanted.
Yes, I agree.
You know,
They brought in the long balls.
you know, so it was basically Rajagopal's work Rajagopal's work between 2009 and 2013 got basically KO'd within 1 year, which is in 2015.
Which was when Dola Saleh took over.
When Dola Saleh took over and a lot the 10-0 and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and okay, I think
back to the game.
Yeah, for this one, I think I feel like Khal has summed up most of my sentiments when it comes to the team in the pitch. Everybody did their part.
Yeah, Adam Noazlin
was, I think, he is the hero in the semi-finals and in the finals.
Yeah, he may have made a mistake, but his recovery.
Oh, superb. Yeah. And for Haziq, I don't think he should be himself, but this is going to haunt him forever.
Yeah, of course.
I think this is going to really haunt him.
Actually, Haziq last year, he was actually one of the star players for T-Team. Then JDT identified.
Then they bought him, right?
Then they bought him.
Yeah.
To play second field to Izham Tamizi and Faizal Marilas. And with Faizal Marilas
Suspended for so long.
Haziq actually took the challenge, took it to Izham Tamizi and challenged it. I think Haziq is what Khairul Fahmi's distribution could be.
You
know, he's a commanding keeper. I mean, like
for a young boy,
player,
for a young boy,
you know, 1920. You know, he's gonna be there again in the next SEA Games, for sure. And his distribution throughout the whole tournament.
Superb.
He's just like a sweeper keeper kind of player.
I think if you ask me, Haziq,
he is a sweeper keeper, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Ifwat was the first choice keeper in OKS's eyes.
Yeah.
But that one game against Singapore that Haziq played was the one that changed it for him. And I think he shouldn't beat himself up over this medal loss, because he can try again next 2 years. To be honest, he has nothing to blame himself for.
Agreed. 100%.
You know, this silver medal is, to me,
a motivation.
To push yourself to get the goal in the Philippines. You have stamped your mark. You know, these players have stamped their mark in this game because no one saw them up. Everyone beat them off in 6 group stages, right?
Yeah. No one believed that we had a chance.
Yeah, no one believed that we had a chance.
Especially the game during Brunei, you were like, they equalized.
Yeah, that's it, right? It's like, that's it. And then Adam Noazlin came out with that superb header.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Then the game for me, it changed during Singapore. That night was
superb.
Beautiful,
amazing.
Because I think fans of Malaysian football, I mean, sorry to categorize this as purists lah.
I actually want to buy into this point actually. Yeah.
You know, knew that the team needed us. You know, so we came, the fans came, and we filled up most of the stadium. About, I don't know, 30, 40.
We're not talking about only the ultras, you know. We're talking about the fans.
Everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
You know, everyone who macam rasa that, okay, it's, number one, because it's against Singapore.
It's a Causeway derby.
Causeway derby. You know, you don't want to miss that. You know, and then, you know, everyone just rallied. And also at that game as well, the referee was
shite.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolute shite.
Thank you for putting that. And then the fans who was there, they were, you can sense that crowd was more macam,
I want to see something happen. Happen. Anticipating for something to happen, right?
No, I want to see something happen. I think it's like, I want this team to succeed.
Yeah.
You know, that feeling.
It's like everyone there like, hey, do something right now. Do it. Like,
hey, we are with you. Keep it up.
Exactly.
Hey,
so it's like push now, like that. Yeah.
Hey, we are with you. Keep it up. And then that got Malaysia over the line.
And Noor Azam coming on.
Noor Azam is a player that will challenge Shafiq Rahim's legacy.
He's wearing number 8 as well.
Yeah, in a good way. Noor Azam is 22, and I foresee a really good future. Pipi Apong on Twitter have once quoted back in 2016 or 2015. Noor Azam is better than Cesc Fabregas.
Wow. We are already way over time, but I don't care. I'm just gonna bring this up. Do you think we needed the ultras in the finals?
No. I would say this is a very diplomatic answer because, you know, let's just try to keep sense on certain things, okay?
I have a follow-up to that.
I think the game, the final revealed people's characters. You know, whether they
really want to support the team. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, it reveals characters. You know, it reveals so much characters. You know, whether they were sincere motivations or insincere motivations. But itu only the people themselves know of their motivations. So it really revealed a lot of characters, and like good or bad. I hope that people who macam start taking notice of Malaysian football do not stop at the final.
Yes.
Continue to support the team. This Tuesday we're facing
Hong Kong.
The senior team is going to face against Hong Kong in Asia qualifiers.
Nelo Vingada, by the way, is running on a tightrope because he has lost 3 games on the trot to Myanmar 1-0 in the A-ranked friendly. And also for this one, I want to follow up for that. We should not, I think as Malaysian fans, we should not just we should not just expect the ultras to feed the atmosphere. As fans who go down to the stadium, we should be the ones instigating the push for the atmosphere to be better.
I tried to rush home from a meeting to catch the last 15 minutes of the game. It didn't feel like a final to me in the last 15 minutes. It was the stadium was so quiet. Like, what was going on? The stadium is supposed to be
full. And also it's a reflection of our football culture. During the Indonesian game, I remember talking to Henry and a few of our friends lah. You look at the Indonesian fans, besides supporters, you have their ultra sections and you have their fans. And you look at their corner, they have like their flags, their banners, and it's very colourful. You know, crests from different clubs and different regions of the country. You look at our side, it's the Malaysian flag. Fans are overly relying on the ultras. You know,
I agree.
I'm not discrediting anything what the ultras have done, but
I agree.
I think what the ultras have done, they should have inspired the fans to do things of their own,
not be the dependent ones on the field.
Yeah, because if you're too dependent on one player, like inside a football team, bila that player tak main, you have to step up.
Correct.
It's football. Where are the creativity from Malaysian fans? Our friends from Bobai created this one nice image of Safari Rashid and Tanah Balin celebrating that image. That image is very iconic, and they did a very nice artwork. Why aren't there fans who do this and also like print it
out and just do huge ass like a Dortmund yellow wall shit, you know? Where is that? I mean,
where is that fan culture? Because I think if we have that culture, I think we could have been light years away inside the Southeast Asian and Asian football.
This campaign has been an onion. You know, this campaign has been an onion for the Malaysian team. You open up one layer, there's something else. You open up another layer, there's something else. Really, you keep opening it up. It just, and in the end, you cry. It's like, you know, this analogy is perfect because I feel like in this game, it showed a lot of characters. Revealed a lot, from your ticket touters to your cronies to your fans not showing up. To people who just want to go there for the sake of, you know, supporting the team when they win gold, you know, and be there where the true fans stay at home, you know. I understand the solidarity that ultras have made, which is also why it revealed the characters of the Malaysian fans. Because Malaysian fans, I just realized, most of them who has gone for that one were lazy and were there to pick up the slack of the ultras when they win gold. Only when they win gold, they'll be there. Do you realize the amount of fans that left as soon as the final whistle blew? If you realize the Shah Alam Stadium was quite empty already after that. People should realize that despite winning silver medal, it's not the end of the world. A lot of us mentalities here, you cannot deny it. I am also guilty of this. As soon as we see something bad about one thing, we leave. And that's the typical Malaysian mentality. We don't stick around to support and see what happens next. We said straight away, you already give us this one, bye.
I would have just to wrap things up again, because over time, I would like to thank the fans. I mean, like, that really came and like pushed the team semua tu
in the group stages,
semi-finals, like even the finals. You know, there are people who tried to push, tried to rally the management for giving the trust to the coaches during this campaign. The coaches who did their jobs, players who showed up semua tu for a fun campaign, because I think I think as a person who advocates a lot of mental health on social media, it was a refreshing time to get out from our comfort zone, from our depression and our anxiety, to come and support something that we're passionate about.
This was, to me, to just add on to that, this was a glimmer of hope to what has been a very bleak period of time in Malaysian football.
3 years, since Kiraj Gopal.
This has been like a good glimmer of hope. You know, it gives us that silver lining. You're like, okay, there's still hope, something will happen. Let's just hope the people who have that control makes use of it lah.
Of course. Nikmati lah.
Alright, that brings us to the end of this podcast. Man, we are way over time, 1 hour in.
Sorry guys.
It's okay. It's been a good podcast. It's been one of our most sensible ones. A lot of analysis as well. Don't forget to tune in next week. There will be no podcast next week because international break.
No, you want to do it?
No, shut up. I bring out an offer here. If you just want to go delve deeper more towards like Malaysian football, just let me know.
Always follow Khal on Padang Bola Sepak. He's on Twitter, he's on Facebook. At Padang Bola Sepak.
Instagram as well.
And when we come back, we will be back with UCL and UEL group stage action. But until next time, this is Yuhan.
This is CK.
This is Henry. This is Khal.
We're signing off. Lots of balls.